Hi, good morning. Welcome to At The Computer. We've got an exciting series of videos planned. It's going to be Xtreme Sports Week.
Yeah, it's on the rage right now. I always see kids at the Taco Bell parking lot smoking their cigarettes, riding their razor scooters. Seems like a good time.
Yeah, everyone's having fun. It's the latest trend, but safety first. You got to make sure you're strapped in.
Gotta buckle up before you shred.
Don't want to take a tumble, don't want to fall. Now that we're all safe and secured, pack your bags.
Bring your blades.
Throw in some spray paint because we're heading to Shibuya, Tokyo in Sega's Jet Set Radio Future at the computer. Warning, we do not condone graffiti. This game has a mandatory graffiti warning at the start. You're not allowed to skip it.
Yeah, you can skip all the developers, you can skip all the other intros, but you cannot skip this.
I do like though it says graffiti is art, like it's defending it, like, hey, listen. And listen to this, music.
Let's just sit here and let this soak in for a little bit.
So definitively when people think Jet Set Radio, I mean, the art style is peak, but the thing that like has carried on through and through is it has, I would say, the best soundtrack of any video game ever.
I think it's my favorite soundtrack of all time.
In terms, well, because there is original music and there's collected music, but it's like, I like the Street Fighter soundtrack, I like some Final Fantasy stuff, but like every song in the Jet Set Radio Future soundtrack, even the original soundtrack, I can listen today and it just has so much energy, it's so creative, it's so off, like, it kicks ass. We'll talk about the music more later, but like, I still listen to it. But even here, you're hit with all this punk J Street energy, adrenaline. You got kids skating around the streets of Shibuya.
And not only that, I can't think of another game recently, other than maybe like Hotline Miami, where like the music adds so much to the game. Like if you take the music out of this game, it becomes so much lamer.
Yeah. So for me, Jet Set is cel-shaded, Japan, and this music. All right, we got a little taste of it. This kicks ass. We got everyone skating, but let's jump into it.
So we are gonna load up a clear save later on, but we're just gonna start with a new game.
All right.
Get introduced to the world. It has a little bit of a tutorial, but it's really short.
Now loaded. Hell yeah. Corn? His name is Corn?
Yeah, it's Corn.
They didn't spell it with a K.
Where's our pizza?
Oh man, I remember this guy's animation. I still do this sometimes. All right, you can go through it. So you're the new kid on the block. You're joining this gang, right? You're gonna.
Yeah, I'm Yo-Yo right now.
Yo-Yo. I just know Beat. That's like the main dude.
Yeah, well, Beat's not even unlocked.
Oh, this guy looks like a dork.
What? You don't like Yo-Yo?
Whatever.
He's cool. He's cool.
Whatever. Yo. All
right, so I gotta go talk to Gum, who is over there.
All right, Gum's the cutie. All right, so for people who don't know, this is a sequel to Jet Set Radio, originally a Dreamcast title. After the Dreamcast died, they made the sequel straight to the Xbox. And, oh, you're the cat who wants to join us, huh? And they've never ported this game to any other console. There's no HD remake in the works or anything. There's a chance this will come out for Xbox One X's, like, backwards compatibility. But for now, the only way to play this is to play on the original Xbox.
And I guess just to clear the air, this is personally my favorite video game of all time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is my number one.
It's your favorite game, but you're doing the tutorial? You don't know how to play it?
Hey, man, you can't skip this.
All right, so we're going to Dogen Zaka Hill. Already you can tell the game has a much bigger scope. Like, there's more vehicles, but there's also pedestrians in this game, whereas the first one, like, the areas were kind of small. But I mean, this is full-on open world, right? Yeah,
you go open world, you go from area to area. I wonder if I can pull up the map here. That's a graffiti cell, which basically unlocks more graffiti.
Okay.
So you have a map here, and as you can see here, this will fill out throughout the game, and kind of like a tunnel system of how to get to each area. The only bummer with that is that, I mean, this game's a little bit older, so there's no fast travel. And you have to, like, figure out how to get to each area, basically.
Yeah, see, like, I played this game a lot when it came out, but, like, I got to a point in the game where I was stuck, and I felt like it was so hard for me to, like, navigate to where this one spray was, and I think as a frustrated, like, 12-year-old, I just stopped playing it, so I never actually beat the game. I still put a lot of time into it, and its soundtrack is burned in my brain, but, like, I never cleared this game.
What also doesn't help that this game is actually quite long. Like, it's around a 20-hour game. Like, it is... Like, the original Jet Set Radio you can beat in 2 hours. Whereas this game is a lot bigger in scope, a lot longer. And there's definitely levels in this game, like the sewer level, which are way more vertical, that are kind of frustrating to navigate. Because if you look at this map, it doesn't really... It tells you generally where sprays are, but it doesn't really, like, spell it out for you.
Yeah.
So that can be kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I feel like I want to reconquer this game. So Sega, bring this out, port it, or make it compatible with Xbox so I can play this shit again. Because they put out original Jet Set on like PS3 and Xbox 360 and Steam, but I think their reasoning was like it didn't sell that much, so they weren't given like encouragement to put out the second one. But the dumb thing is the second one is so much better than the first one that like, you know, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They put out like an okay game as opposed to like the great sequel. And the first one's still good, but like the controls aren't as good, whereas this one is much smoother.
Yeah, the first one like has the impact because it was the first one, and that's the one everyone remembers. But this one cleans everything up. This one like just makes it so much easier. Like got rid of the dumb thing where you have to like use the analog sticks to graffiti, where it's just instant. Like you don't have to waste any time.
So do you get benefits for like doing combos? Like if you trick in graffiti, do you get extra points or something like that? Like what's the kind of the point? Is there like a point to the combo system in this game?
So there's the combo system. The point of it is, if I can pull it up here. Oh, I don't have it unlocked yet. So each level has it's basically a high score you can beat. And once you beat that high score, it unlocks more graffiti souls for you to collect and also unlocks hidden characters. And you get points by doing tricks on rails, but then also like stringing them together by jumping rail to rail. But unlike like Tony Hawk or anything, it doesn't really have a combo system.
Yeah.
Like,
because like you do tricks automatically by just jumping off and grinding on rails, right?
Yeah, and you can do more tricks by pressing X, but there's a real rhythm to it, and you can't just mash it.
Oh, here we go.
Beat.
Everyone's got their little dancing groove. Damn, he looks dope. God, this soundtrack is so good.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite
Alright, so now
songs.
do you have to go meet Beat?
Yeah, and then how you unlock characters is they usually challenge you.
Okay. Yo!
But since this is the first one, it's really easy.
He almost looks like he has a Dreamcast logo on his back.
Yeah, Beat's by far like the best character in this game. He's got the best stats.
Alright, can you top that crazy trick? Do some of the challenges at the end game get really complicated?
Yeah, this game gets ridiculously hard. There's characters that I've never unlocked, like Pots and like the Love Shockers and stuff, just because stringing like really intricate combos together in this game isn't the best because the controls are a little floaty.
Word. I mean, this game's 15 years old now. This came out in 2002. One thing I love is you're in a record store. So the biggest thing for me is like I love specifically Shibuya-ki music more than any other genre. Like I love Japanese pop, but more specifically, in the same time this game came out in 2002, early 2000s, was a whole like wave called Shibuya-ki music, which is a little similar to kind of the soundtrack, but it's a little bit more poppy, a little bit more jazzy, but it's still very eclectic. Like my favorite artist of all time, music artist, is Yasutoku Nakata, who produces like Perfume, but more importantly, his original group was Capsule. And so early Capsule is very, like, it does kind of sound a lot like the soundtrack. Like, it's a wide collection of like electric guitars, electronic, like brass instruments, and like, it's so like jazzy and fun. And that's like the whole sense of this game too, is like, early 2000s, you had like Halo on Xbox. Yeah. Like all these like first-person shooters, and progressively like Gears of War came out a few years later. Games started getting really darker, but the Sega charm and the reason why people are so nostalgic for Sega is like this is such escapism. Like you're in Japan here. You have bright, super colorful, cel-shaded graphics. Like you're in this cartoon anime world. Like it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it's just like a total distraction. Also, getting too deep, this game came out right after 9/11, so it's like. Our country was healing, we're wounded, and now it's like, oh, let's escape, pure escapism. This is probably the first YouTube video to connect 9/11 to why I love
Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio. But like honestly, like even when I still listen to Shibuya-ki music, like even if it's like cute Japanese girls singing whatever over like this really light aerial music, like it's so pleasant and escape. Like I love it. Like even talking about it, I'm getting so like just emotionally happy and lifted. And so like Shibuya-ki style, I even love like Japanese films of the era. Like Battle Royale came out this time. A lot of Japanese indie films in the 2000s were kicking ass. That's when Sion Sono got his start. Like, I don't know, there's something that was in the zeitgeist in Japan in the early 2000s that like really connected and just like is so kick-ass even years down the line. Like Fully Cooley is like mid-2000s. Like whatever the hell was going on in Japan at the time, like really kicked ass, and the media from that time still rules.
Yeah, this is one of those games that if I load up the soundtrack or just load up and just skate around the world, not even do the objectives, it makes me feel so happy inside because everything is so colorful, so vibrant.
And also, like, I feel like the game is friendly, whereas Tony Hawk, you do have all these complicated trick systems, whereas this, it's like, oh, you just press buttons and you're grinding. Yeah. And, like, everything flows together so well. So what's the current objective that you're doing right now?
To unlock B, I am racing him.
Is he behind you?
No, I'm kicking his ass.
Because it's funny, because the game is kind of slow-paced, but what happens if you hit B?
B is...
Booyah.
Booyah.
Turbo fuel.
Up into a corner.
Chris, what are you doing?
It's very hard to control when you're in turbo
I kind of
mode.
sabotaged you. I told you a bad time to do it. But yeah, look at these dense streets, the population. That kicks ass. How long? Oh, the timer's going up. Okay, that's kind of weird because you always see the timer going down.
Yeah,
so he's far behind.
I think there's a challenge for beating this in under a certain time frame to get more of a character or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kind of crazy secrets in this game that I still don't really know.
I want to revisit this. I already said this, but Sega, like, come on, quit dicking around. Put this game out so people can play it.
I mean, hey, when the Xbox One goes backwards compat with original Xbox, this is like one of the only games I really want.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think this is like #1. I mean, they touted Crimson Skies, but hopefully this is after. All right, we jump forwarded. You beat Beat. That was a slow-ass race. Beat is way behind. Do you get like a trophy? What do you get? What do you get? Spray paint? No, or you just unlock Beat, right?
I get Beat.
Okay.
So
you beat Beat. All right. All right. It's kind of lame that they put Beat as like the first character you face against, and he sucks ass at racing. You feel like Beat should be like way good, but whatever. Uh-oh, you stunt skates. Oh, what's gonna happen now?
This is the other part of the game when the police come to just mess with you.
Oh, this song is so good. All right, Beat's gonna skate away. This game kind of has like a slow rhythm to it. Like everyone skates is so floating. All right, sending in the tanks because some punk kid was spray painting all over Tower Records.
I haven't done this part in so long. I hope it's okay.
They don't have guns on them, do they? How do they fight you? They just chase you?
They chase you and you have to...
You have to spray paint them?
You have to run into them and knock them down and then spray paint their backs, which I'm trying to remember how you do.
Oh, that's rad. Damn, that's dope. And they actually get tagged. Oh, it's so cool. That's great.
Is that all of them? Oh, there's one more.
There's one more punk. One more Busta. Booyah. Hell yeah.
So the cops are actually a little bit more easy to deal with in this game than they were in the original.
Yeah, the first one was kind of hard.
Yeah. This one does get hard where they do bring out tanks and they do fire at you on sight, which is like ridiculous and stupid, but I had to get by a car.
You just got knocked over.
But first of all, this is like one of my clear saves. And here's all the characters I've unlocked.
Oh, you got Corn. Combo! I remember Combo. He was tight.
He's super cool. Also, what I love about this game is all the reoccurring characters from the first game are in this, but they look a little bit more futurized.
That's tight.
They look way more cooler. Here's Graham. I think he was in the first one. Soda, which is rad. He's got a big nose.
Looks like Mountain Dew. Boogie.
Boogie.
I forget who I played at. Oh.
She's really sweet.
Riff.
There's Cube. There's Clutch, which he is like the epitome of the 90s right there.
Totally.
There's Jazz.
Jazz. I think I played as Jazz a lot.
And that's all I have unlocked, which my personal favorite, I gotta go with Cube.
Cube. Which one is Gum?
Gum is the first. She's just part of your gang from the beginning. She's got like the helmet with the hair coming out of it.
Now we're in the terminal. Oh, is this the area from the first game, or is this kind of updated?
This is kind of updated, but it's basically the same area from the first game, or very close to it.
Very cool.
Got the same kind of buses and all this. But this is one of those levels that's very synonymous with Jet Set Radio, and like I constantly like this is the level from the title screen.
Yeah.
So I just this is one of those levels that I constantly think about.
Well, also like one thing I like about this and like even the Tony Hawk games are all the lines. Like everything is designed so you can just easily connect from like, all right, here's one rail to the next, and you can just kind of float and build these big combos. Like that's something that's just so hypnotic. Even like with later games like EA Skate is just finding lines, how well they're designed in video games, and just kind of getting into that groove and practicing and flowing. Like I love that.
Like getting used to the combos and like the jumps and all that stuff.
And then you just start memorizing the map, like knowing where everything is. Yeah, and also just doing the tricks. So are you tapping grind, or what are you doing to like flick the different grinds?
So I'm just tapping X, but you have to do it in like a rhythmic fashion.
Yeah, this is so dope.
And the only bummer with that thing is like if you mess it up, you can't do it anymore. Like,
yeah,
if you mess up the rhythm. Bum, bum, bum.
So what is that? Is that another graffiti to collect, or is that?
Yeah, that's just another graffiti soul. And again, I just unlocked it by doing a trick combo in this level.
Okay.
And actually, now that we're in a clear save, I can load up. So every level has this. It's like do an air combo ×3, do 25 tricks. Then once you clear it, it says cleared, and that unlocks more graffiti. And then once you have them all cleared, that unlocks the new character for you.
Okay. Cool, cool. So there's these little like mini objectives on top of the story. Or do you have to do those, or are those optional?
Those are optional. So in this save already, I've beaten the story, but then it loads you back into the world here.
Okay.
And it still lets you like, I got hit by a car. Yeah, it still lets you like, I got hit by another car. It still lets you like grind around and like unlock characters and stuff like that.
So they're different, because I just noticed you got knocked down in health. Are there like health spray cans versus like graffiti spray cans?
Yeah, they're bright red with a giant like plus sign on them. And those become very critical.
Oh, that's
when
like
you fight tanks.
first aid sprays in Resident Evil.
Pretty much,
I see what they did. They ripped that off. All right.
And this is another one of my favorite areas in the game.
Man, like, oh, man. Yeah, seeing this shit, it's like, oh, I just want to, like, visit Japan. I want to, like, just experience, like, well, also, I mean, this is a tweaked version of it, but, like, I like this future they presented, even though it's dystopic with all these cops beating kids down, but, like, the bright billboards and all this, and, like, more importantly, they're repping at the computer. Drive by that again. You can do custom graffiti in this game. So Bruce made at the computer. There you go. Represent.
Represent gamers.
Gamers. If you're playing this game, I want to see that spray. We'll upload it.
Upload?
Yeah, it's like Mario Maker, you know?
Yeah, so I'll just skate through the... there's like a little like downtown-y place right down here that's like very nostalgic for me.
This is dope. You're jumping on top of buildings. Man, I like how I also like how all the levels connect together, right? You're not loading up different areas.
Yeah, you skate through each area.
That's awesome. Dude, are there any arcades in this game?
Yeah, I think there might be up here where I'm going right now. I think there might be a little arcade. But like even like little places like this, it's a little
just dense with all these different characters, and even the characters are dressed super hip, like
everyone's super stylish looking in this game. Like look at this guy in this orange like suit.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of like Space Channel 5-y.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's that whole same aesthetic.
Well, I mean, just Sega killed it. I don't know, they dropped the ball, but like, yeah, dude, early 2000s Sega's like kicks ass. Oh man, this song's also dope. So like, what was this game's effect on you like when you were a kid? How old were you when you got this game?
So I was around 8, maybe 9. I was in 2nd grade.
Okay. All right.
And
when I was in 2nd grade, that's when that's when I got into Grand Theft Auto 3. No, I got into Grand Theft Auto 3 like in 3rd or 4th grade. Okay, I was just kind of placing my end. So you got into this game. Now, did this game encourage you to like rollerblade?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, like I got an original Xbox. That was my first console, and this game came with it. And like, for example, I got like the pack in like Sega GT and like Amped. And compared to all the games I got, this game just blew me away. It was so stylish. Oh, yeah, this area is really fucking cool.
Sega GT didn't latch on to a car game? You
no.
Sure?
But this game, I just got obsessed with the soundtrack and its style. And then
Octopus, that's so dope.
I picked up skating because of it. I made my neighbor teach me how to rollerblade, which I still learn today. And then, you know, my first major in college was art. And like this game inspired me how to do like graffiti and how to do like wheat pasting and all that stuff.
What's wheat pasting?
Wheat pasting is when you take a like kind of like a piece of paper and you like paste it to something, kind of like a sticker, but not a sticker.
All right. So you're Banksy basically.
Basically Banksy. Banksy does a lot of wheat pasting.
So even though the game had a warning up top saying "Do not graffiti," you still violated it and you did some
that
graffiti?
inspired me, man.
Whoa. Damn, I don't even remember any of this. This is so sick.
Yeah, this level. So
Another
cool.
thing, like, okay, so Sega dropped the ball with Jet Set Radio Future not porting it, but, like, they've been pretty good about porting stuff recently. They brought Bayonetta to PC. They brought Vanquish to PC. They put out surveys like, oh, what games are you interested in? So it's like, I have a feeling we'll see this come to Xbox One X. That would be, like, a blessing. But if not, hopefully Steam. But,
yeah, I mean, there's been so many fan projects trying to bring this someplace.
That's right. So there was, like, a remake, like, being developed in Unity, like, a few years ago.
It's called Project B?
Project B, yeah, we'll put a link below. I don't know if that's stalled, if they got hit with the cease and desist. It didn't look great, because it's like a remake from the ground up, and so it's like they don't have all the original assets. But again, it's just that shows the dedication that like people want to play this game. There's also another game that came out on Steam. Like, there's been a few games that have been kind of capping off on this style. But, like, there's a game called Hover Revolt of the Gamers.
Yeah, which is an awful title.
Like, that title sucks. Hover Revolt of the Gamers. But the style is very Jet Set. It's cel-shaded. I think it's a parkour game or a rollerblading game.
Yeah, you don't have rollerblades, but you have, like, it's called Hover because I think you have little jets on your feet that let you fly around, something like that.
And so, like, I haven't played it yet, but the one cool thing is they did get the composer, Hideki Naganuma, to, like, make music for it. So it's like, all right. Also, that composer, Naganuma, otherwise known as the Numa Numa guy, he is very cool on Twitter. He's constantly retweeting out people, like, talking about Jet Set. And it's so funny, whereas Sega doesn't care about Jet Set. No, everyone else has moved on. That one composer, whose music defines the game, is so, like, in love with the fans. He's constantly tweeting about it, so, like...
And, like, one thing he always constantly retweets is, like, he has this image that's just like, ask Sega, not me.
I know.
People constantly are trying to get him to, like, oh, do you have any news on, like, a Jet Set?
Well, you know, we're still living in history. Maybe we'll see it in the future. And then there's another game I really liked called Sunset Overdrive, which was an Xbox... we're playing this on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Sunset Overdrive was for the Xbox One. That game was great. The writing sucked because it was very, like, 10-year-old obnoxious. Like, there was, like, constant pop culture references which are already dated. But the style of the game was super colorful. It had a very cartoon art style, and you're in a big open world city, and I think you're grinding on rails.
Yeah, grinding on rails and stuff like that. I love that game.
Yeah, so it's like, I think, like, if you haven't played Sunset Overdrive, I don't think it's on PC, which kind of sucks, but like it's on Xbox One. Like,
and it's
I really recommend that game, and you can get it for like, you can get it for dirt cheap.
No one bought it.
I really recommend Sunset Overdrive. And then in terms of rollerblading, excuse me, in terms of rollerblading, I really like Aggressive Inline.
I like that game a lot.
That game was pretty cool. It's a different style, but I think that one's really cool. We'll play that on the show in the future.
Because that's aiming after the Tony Hawk stuff.
Yeah, and I think that game's pretty fun. All right, look at these punks. Is that a concert going on over there? Can you go back there? What's that over there?
I think they're like...
This is kick-ass.
They're like just screaming at a shop, and you can just mess them up.
All right, Toy Boo. So this is cool. Now we're getting to Tokyo nightlife. So what district is this right now?
This is 99th Street, which is the Love Shocker district.
This looks awesome.
Or the Rapid 99 too.
This is so sick. Look at all these kids just dancing and rocking out.
There's another like super like look at these giant cats waving at you. Like, this is one of those games kind of similar to like my feelings on Mirror's Edge, where I would load it up and just like walk around cities and just look at stuff.
Oh my god, look at the computer. Pull up on that. Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's so sick. Man, this is so awesome. Again, look how colorful this is.
And it's just games don't... Like, this game is like a little simple by today's standards, but just games like this don't exist at all anymore.
Yeah, I mean, in the mid-2000s, like, because of Gears of War and Call of Duty, games were just eternally gray and just so serious and gruff. But now, like, thankfully because of, like, the PS4 and, like, all these newer systems, people are starting to lean back into color. Destiny has a lot of colorful, super beautiful. Event Horizon is super lush and colorful. So, like, we're starting to see, like, games that are really nice and pretty again, which is great. And, like, again, hopefully, like, Sega will be in tune and pick this stuff up.
Yeah, I'm actually curious, like, because the fandom for this game is extremely hardcore, maybe because it's a little bit more, like, forgotten than the original Jet Set, but I'm super curious to see, like, if this game were to come out, how well it would sell, like, how many people would pick it up, because I would like to think that it would do rather well.
Well, also, because this game is 15 years old, it's on a system that isn't very accessible, like an original Xbox, and that's it. It's not even backwards compatible. I would think, like, just, like, how stylish it is, it would play well. It is pretty easy to pick up and play. If they released it, it'd be like a budget title, $20 or something. I mean, even looking at this now, 15 years later, it looks so cool. Like, I think this would do well.
Well, it's like games like this, like you're going back to like the gray and brown kind of genre of games. I feel like those games just don't hold up after their graphic fidelity.
They're ugly and they suck ass now.
Yeah, whereas this game still looks amazing.
Well, every like 3D like polygonal game Sega made in the late 90s, early 2000s still holds up. Like, we'll play some other Sega games, but like there's a term I use all the time called Sega Blue, which is just that beautiful escapism, like bright color Sega graphics, which like again looks gorgeous. And Nintendo, to its credit, does this very well. Like Breath of the Wild is gorgeous because they went with a very like artistic, like anime palette.
Cartoony.
When you make stuff look cartoony, I'm not a big fan of Overwatch, but even then, it's like if you make games that have more style to it as opposed to realism, that holds up. Like even World of Warcraft, which was originally made like 2005, those graphics are dated now, but they still came out as a cartoony style, which made it run easier on older computers, but also looked better.
Yeah, and it's still, like I said, it still has a look to it.
Yeah.
Like, it still has a little style that's a little bit more, like, if it tried to be realistic looking, it would look terrible.
It would suck ass. Alright, so where are we now?
So this is Highway 0, which is one of the last levels in the game, but this is, like, full-on kind of the future city.
Okay, I like the neon.
This is all, like, bright lasers and stuff like that.
I didn't get to this part in the game. I tapped out too early.
Yeah, this is where, it's implied that this is where, like, all, like, the rich people live and all that stuff. And, like, everyone else lives in, like, slums and stuff like that.
I like the other parts of the city. That look way cooler. Alright, welcome to the dirty-ass slums. This looks cool. All the crows are here.
Yeah, I wanted to show a level because, like, I feel like people don't remember levels like this in this game.
I distinctly remember in the first Jet Set Radio, there's, like, that river village. There's that village next to the water that's kind of like this.
Yeah, this is, like, this is actually, yeah, now you mentioned this is super similar to it. But
this is more like Hong Kong. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of levels in this game that are like this. They're a little bit more run down, a little more.
Yeah, talking about the class struggle in Japan. The economy burst in the 90s for Japan. They went through some tough times. I like they're addressing it. This is dope. So are police, like, do police ignore this area in the game if you're going to make it more realistic? Do they, you know what I mean?
I don't know if the police come here or not, to be honest. I know they don't come, like, in the sewers.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. This is, that's a good parade there.
That's great. Hell yeah.
Yeah, look at these people hanging out. Even people in the...
Yeah,
Oh,
I love this. I think this is a sunset, too. I like how the different areas are different, like, times. It took us a while to get here because there's no fast travel in this game. You just have to kind of grind out the through the tunnels.
Again, this game being 15 years old, there's aspects of it that don't hold up. Like, trying to, like, navigate the city with no minimap or, like, figuring out where to go is a little bit hard. And again, some of the controls are a little floaty.
But you got the best soundtrack to keep you company.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like I was just feeding pigeons. All right. Yeah, this is awesome. Oh, my God. There's the statue. Like, can you imagine...
Like, all these houses stacked up. It's so cool.
Why haven't they done Jet Set Radio 3? Like, that is insane. With today's graphics, like... Even if they
would look amazing.
Oh my god, post Shenmue 3, if they were to announce a Kickstarter for Jet Set Radio 3...
Top backer right here.
Oh my god, everyone would. You know, like, holy shit. Like, a new soundtrack with Hideki... But it's like, I wonder, where did all that team go? Like, where did the Sega Dream Team in the 90s go? Because Sega's been really crappy the past few years. I know they're kicking it with Yakuza, and they're trying to bring it back, but it's like... But again, I'm not going to get my hopes up. This was a flash in the pan. This was, like, capturing that early 2000s vibe. But, you know, one can dream. But even again, this still looks great. Like, again, you don't even need to polish this up. We're, like, playing this on a 15-year-old hardware. Like, it still looks dope.
Yeah, like, so, like, after the Dreamcast, like, all the Sega guys went to Xbox and started to, like, doing stuff over there. But after that, I don't know where they went.
Yeah, so, like, Dreamcast died pretty quickly, and then, like, I feel like a lot of would-be sequels for the Dreamcast got ported to Xbox. So, like, Shenmue 2 was an Xbox title. It came out on Dreamcast in, like, Europe, but, like...
Panzer Dragoon went to Xbox.
Yeah, Crazy Taxi 3 went to Xbox. So, like... Man, if Xbox can rekindle that, like, if they announce, yo, Jet Set 3, or, you know, but hey, I have a strong feeling they'll bring this to Xbox. Phil Spencer's been pretty awesome turning it around in terms of being very open and listening to fans. Like, I follow his Twitter. I really dig Phil Spencer. So, Phil, if you're watching, I know you are.
You know, now that I mention it, if, like, the new Xbox suddenly became, like, the home for, like, old Dreamcast games again, like, hey, we got all, like, the crazy, weird Japanese stuff.
But the one thing that kind of is dumb with Xbox is, like, I have the original Xbox One X, like, the base system, but all that backwards compatibility stuff is going to work for that, too.
Yeah.
I guess it's not dumb, because I'm happy, but, like, it's not going to entice anyone to grab an Xbox One X. But if they announce all this stuff is backwards compatible, I'm set. I don't need to upgrade. So, you know, we can dream. This area is cool, too.
Again, an area that's, like, often forgotten.
Yeah. Going deeper and deeper. You can really, if you really just want to zone out and listen to podcasts, you can just grind through this whole city. It's one giant circle. Just loop out, get better at it. You're going to make it. Yeah,
my memories of this game as a kid, because I wasn't very good at this game and I didn't beat it till I was much older, was...
I started beating it around the age of 12.
Yeah. I was like doing that. Like, I would just grind in the garage over and over and over just because the game's style and, like, music, you just wanted to soak in it.
This is great. Well, this holds up. I like it. Go pet that dog. The dog is dancing to the music. All right. Pretty good dog. Good dog, good game. So that was our playthrough of Jet Set Radio Future, the 2002 sequel to Jet Set Radio. Overall, this is one of the coolest games ever made. It perfectly captures the early 2000s Japanese zeitgeist of pop culture. The music, the graphics, the color, the environments, it's so just cool. I love it.
Yeah, like I said, this is one of my favorite games of all time, probably my favorite game of all time. When I played it as a kid, it had such a major influence in what I like today. If you're coming to it fresh today, some of the controls are a little sluggish and there's no fast travel in the game.
Yeah.
But overall, like, the game holds up remarkably well.
Yeah, I mean, I love this game. I think most people love this game. Sega, please bring this to either Xbox One X or backwards compatibility, Steam, make a sequel, reboot, whatever. Like, more people need to experience this game. It's been 15 years. Technically, it's backwards compatible on 360s, but there's texture and flickering issues, so it's not the best way to play it.
Not worth it.
But yeah, overall, this game still holds up. It's amazing. I give it 2 huge thumbs up.
And 2 thumbs up for me as well.
And also an extra platitude to Hideki Naganuma's soundtrack. That soundtrack is still beautiful. It's so fun and energetic. And when
I listen to it today, it immediately brings me back and makes me so peppy and happy.
So download the soundtrack. Don't forget about it. We'll include a link below. And before we go, let's take a look at some emails.
You've got mail.
Well, we got a lot this week in our mailbag. We don't have time to open everything. We'll take a look further down, but I did want to highlight something from Atticus. He sent us some fan art.
Yeah, you know, the fan art, as an art critic, I can say your proportions are a little...
What? You don't like it?
I mean, hey, A for effort. A for
This
effort.
looks fantastic. I look so stunning and handsome. I think you did a really good job.
You know, I appreciate it. You know, maybe, you know, it could be a t-shirt or something like that, but I'm not going to hang it up in a museum.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I really like it. We can make some merchandise, show it off in the future. I really like it. I think this could be the new thumbnail for the show going forward. Atticus, you did a great job. I love it. Thank you so much. If anyone else wants to send in some fan art or emails, please continue to do so. Our email is AtTheComputerShow@gmail.com. And you can also follow us on Twitter. I'm Frank Howley.
And I'm _Bruceums.
And we'll be skating and tearing up some half-pipes in the future. Be sure to keep tuning in for Xtreme Sports Week. And until next time, we'll see you at the computer.